The final score, Sutton United 0, Wrexham 0. This could be a short podcast, but it doesn't mean it won't be a happy one. I was very pleased with that. Dreadful game to watch, but, I don't know, am I naive in saying this? I'm a Wrexham fan. I watch other games to be entertained. I don't watch Wrexham to be entertained. I watch Wrexham because I want us to do well. And we did well. Sutton are, bearing in mind that we've played half a season, thus far the best team in our division, I think, comfortably. And they are on great form, won 4 in a row, won 4 home games in a row. And we've gone there and we've got a good clean sheet. They barely threatened us at all. And we had chances to win it. We didn't make a lot of chances, but we were away to Sutton. What you're supposed to do. And we didn't park the bus. I'd say we were slightly the better side. And I think as well, to put things into context, the manager, Matt Gray, which coincidentally is also the colour I painted my battleship, was very pleased when he talks after the match about getting the point. Very pleased with his team's performance. Well, that's a performance where they've had, 2 shots on target, 1 from the outside the box. So, yeah, he knows that we made it difficult for them. We did really well. It's also, weirdly, our first goalless away draw since Aldershot, 2 seasons ago? So it's 48 games of away matches without a 0-0. I don't know what that means, but it's a fact. We made 1 change. Theo Vassell, of course, suspended, but Reece Hall-Johnson was fit again and came in at the right, which meant that Tyler French could slot back in one to the right-sided centre-back. And we made the first chance. It was Hall-Johnson. Long ball forwards. Thomas helped it down. Angus did really well to wait his layoff correctly to the edge of the area. Running up from right wing back was Hall-Johnson. He knew he made the right decision because he knew he had it first time. Once, if he took a touch, the defender was on him. He struck it really well from the edge of the box. Bizanis, diving to his right, made a really good save, pushing it away for the corner. Sutton then put a bit of pressure on us, but not many real chances as such. Luke Young conceded, I think, an unnecessary corner. The ball was carrying on quite a lot on the 4G pitch, and he tried to run out for a goal kick from a million miles out. It brought back memories of Mark Sartori, the Wrexham centre-back when Wrexham beat Arsenal, who I always thought one of his specialist moves was running the ball out for a goal kick from miles out. And he was big, strong, fast and broad, and people just couldn't get around the side of him. Luke Young didn't do it so well and conceded a corner, and when it was swung in, both Sutton centre-backs had a chance. First, Goodliff got to it and hit a shot. Thomas blocked it well. It spanned to John 6 yards out and he scuffed it wide. Wrexham then had a free kick, but it was played in the box, came back out. Durrell tried to knock it back in, gave it to Sutton, and they fed Adjiboy very fast on the right hand side. He broke forwards really well. It was all looking terribly threatening, but Fika Kelleher did brilliantly to come back and make a saving tackle. Great work that. We had a very scary moment, by far the scariest moment of the match in the 17th minute. Wasn't a chance. It was a nod down into the goal mouth. Dibble got there first, and Olafe collided with him. Dibble needed treatment. No, as we know, we have no other keeper at the moment. No keeper on the bench, no keeper at all. It was a couple of minutes of treatment when you would think, oh my gosh, what's going to happen? But he was able, thankfully, to continue. And I don't want you to think that Sutton were getting on top of us here. Like I said, those weren't real chances. It was a sort of scruffy game with both sides cancelling each other out to an extent. And we won a lot of set pieces in their defensive third, and maybe we'll be disappointed we didn't make more chances than we did from them. But Sutton would have been very unhappy to have done so. Halfway through the half, record swept on a great corner beyond the far post, and Jordan Davis was unmarked, and he should have done better really. He headed it well over. He should have at least hit the target or just blasted it straight back with his head into the crowded 6-yard box. Anything could have happened then. There was also an opportunity when Durrell fed a good ball down the left hand side. Angus was chasing after it. Bizanis, the keeper, came tearing out and did really well to slide in and just beat Angus to it. Sutton's best chance of the first half came 7 minutes from the end of it. And Boy again with a good run, he drove it down the right into the box and then squared it beautifully to Randall in the left channel in space. Real opportunity. He took a horrible first touchdown. The shooting chance was gone, but he squared it. I didn't scare it. And Craig Eastman from 15 yards out shot it just wide to the left-hand post. But then in added time, we had a much better chance. A free kick on the halfway line, and Sutton got their line wrong. The ball lofted in by Young, and Kelleher finds himself one-on-one with the keeper. He maybe should have headed it, but he took a touch on his chest. It was a difficult touch to take, and it just ran away from him enough for Bouzanis to come out and smother his shot. A good goalkeeping again. And yeah, Kelleher will be frustrated perhaps that he wasn't able to score. The second half, Sutton came at us strongly at the start, as you might expect, but they didn't really make any chances. There was one, a ball played in towards the edge of the area. It found Buteman, and he hit a shot which took a small deflection, struck it cleanly. Dibble was able to block it and then pounce on the loose ball. We were down to 10 men for a bit when Jamie Record was told to leave the pitch because he was whacked in the face and had a nosebleed, but we coped with that. That lasted for 4 minutes, but we were comfortable with that. Well, as we saw last week when Vassell was sent off, we were quite good at 10 men. In fact, Dean Keats in league matches has never let a goal in against 10 men. Record swept in a corner which led to a bit of a scramble, but we never really had a proper sight on goal. Then a really good breakaway ended with Angus dinking a lovely pass to Kwame Thomas in a bit of space 25 yards out. He opted to take the long range shot though, and he didn't really make contact and pulled it wide. And that was about it until the very last minute when suddenly chances happened. And the first ones fell to us. Started off with a really good spell of pressure. Dibble knocking it long. Defender got up and headed it on. And Wrexham broke down the right hand side, Angus laying it off cleverly to Hall Johnson. He went on a good run, got down the goal line, pulled in a cross, just too strong. Record retrieved the ball and he swung in a good cross which is well headed away for a throw. When the throw came in, Jordan Davis in the box did really well to turn his man. Had a real chance 15 yards out on his left foot, but he drove it with power too close to the keeper and the chance was gone. And within a minute, in added time, Sutton had a chance to, wait for it, win their third game in a row in added time. A long throw in from the right hand side. Hall Johnson actually did very well. It was flicked on into the edge of the 6-yard box and Hall Johnson did really well to make a defensive header, just arriving a fraction before the striker, but the ball fell invitingly for Bouguil, unmarked 6 yards out. The problem for him is it's sort of floating and he's not sort of running onto it all that much, and he struggled to get either direction or power on it really and put it straight at Dibble. It would have been a travesty if Sutton had scored because Wrexham deserved a clean sheet. It was a good performance. I mean, Dibble did well without having to really make saves as such. No difficult saves for him, but he came on occasions in the first half and dealt with high balls into the box well. The centre-backs again were very good. Maybe Kelleher standing out particularly, but all three of them were rock solid. I thought the wing-backs did very well. Obviously they couldn't get forward as much as usual because they are away to the best team in the league, but they did get forwards and they did make some problems, but they both were very good defensively. Record made a great defensive header near the end of the game just to make sure that Sutton couldn't get on the end of something. Hall Johnson made a number of good interventions. In fact, I think I'd go Hall Johnson for man of the match personally. In midfield, now this was interesting. Young's work rate was excellent. He didn't manage to get anywhere with the ball really. I think he might be a little disappointed with that. Davis, I've been talking a lot about the balance of our midfield and saying that is a little light with Davis and Durrell in it. No, not at all, because I've got to acknowledge that I'm misreading Davis a bit. He is able to roll his sleeves up and battle in midfield. A decent game, I thought, and tried to carry the game to them on occasions. Durrell, I've never seen him play like that. It was really interesting. I've seen him play in a midfield three. We've done that this season, but he's tended to want to drive forwards. This was different. He fulfilled two very useful roles. Firstly, he didn't get this right very often, but it was a good idea. He was looking to play very early or first time balls over the top all the time to try and get Angus in behind and to stretch Sutton, which was good. And secondly, he really battled for that ball. Now, he's not a Jay Harris, but he won his fair share of tackles. He won his fair share of headers as well. And he battled like hell. And there's been a few questions on the live stream, and if you tried to watch the live stream, I apologise. For some reason, it just kept dropping out. My Wi-Fi is fine. I don't know why that happened. But I did say on that, you know, a couple of people were asking, why did Dean Keats make any substitutions, I think, because he was probably pretty happy with how things were going. And I guess Jarvis or Harris for Durrell would have been the obvious call, but I think he's probably pretty satisfied with the way Durrell lasted the 90 and with his contribution. And then up front, yeah, Angus and Thomas didn't have a huge amount of work from, but I thought they did well. Thomas, again, won a hell of a lot of headers. At one point, in the second half, Sutton started putting 2 men on him from restarts because they knew Thomas was going to win the headers and they had to do something. And Angus was making a lot of good runs in behind, was really stretching them, that was causing them issues. We were close to connecting up effectively with that. So, yeah, that was a good point. I'm very, very happy with that. Again, we've lost only, one game in, is it 9 now? And we have 2 games coming up against sides down the bottom of the table, which we must look to win. We're putting ourselves into a decent position here if we can just keep it going. There's some decent momentum. And I just feel that's the sort of game that earlier in the season we were losing. We were allowing teams to dictate the terms to us and then failing to come back. You know, games like at Chesterfield, we were playing well and finding their form. At Stockport, for example, at Torquay. Now we've got a bit more confidence, a bit more solidity, a bit more threat up front, and yeah, we're going to the best team in the division and we're matching them, maybe bettering them. That's good. I'm happy. Got to build on this result now. 1 point's not much use if you can't start picking up wins in easier games on paper, but that was good. I'm happy with that. With a final score of Sutton United 0, Wrexham 0, I'm Mark Griffiths and the Wrexham AFC media team.
Thanks very much for watching. Please subscribe as well so you don't miss out on any of our content, and click the bell to get notifications.